Hey guys, it's Landry here, and today I'm going to be telling you guys my driving test story and how I failed, because it's an interesting story, that's for sure. Pretty much, I think that's all there is to explain it, you know? So anyways, I think with that, let's just get into the video. Okay, so my driving test. So for the longest time, my parents were delaying my test because I was in calculus at the time. And so I was really busy with homework and stuff, and I didn't want my grades to drop because I was focusing more on this test. We had a schedule planned for this one day. I ended up having a calculus test the next day, and that wouldn't have worked out with my studying time. So then I put it back to Thanksgiving break. So fast forward to Thanksgiving break, my normal driving instructor, she was telling me how she was getting surgery that week, so then she couldn't be there, but she was going to send someone else to take me to the test, because they had to take me to the test apparently, which was weird. Why am I not driving the car I'm used to, you know? So fast forward to the day of the test. And I'm feeling a-okay. I'm just chilling downstairs, minding my own business, and then it's 10 o'clock, and then the person knocks on the door, and it's this tall man. And for the purpose of the story, we're gonna call him Billy. So Billy's there, and he seems really excited to take me to the test, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready, let's go. So then we're walking out the front door, and his car is across the street from my house. He starts doing the pre-driving checklist, making sure I know everything and stuff. And I didn't even know this was part of the test because my normal driving instructor really didn't go over this with me. She was going to during this lesson, but she didn't expect me to know it 100%. Yeah. So then the first thing he asked me, he was like, okay, show me your out of the window. Of course, the left, right, stop, or slow. And I'm like, I don't know that. Can you tell me so I know for the test? Because that was one thing that my teacher didn't go over with me. And he's like, you don't know this? Did you not study? You're gonna fail. In the first couple seconds, and I should have known then to get out of the car and just walk across the street, but I'm stupid, and I stay in the car, and I'm just I don't know, I stay in the car, I'm like, well, I don't know, so can you tell me them? So he did, and he was just seemed really ticked off about that. And then he's like, where's the defroster, where's the windshield wipers? And then he's like, where's the emergency brake? And I point to the thing that you pull up, on the side. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure, but if you're gonna question me, don't do that. I'm already nervous as it is. And I'm like, well, I think so. And he's like, so you don't know, so you're gonna fail. And I'm like, so then we start driving down my street. We're starting to go down the street, and there's one stop sign at the very end of my street. So we stop at the stop sign. He opens the car to look to see if I stop behind the lines. And first of all, when I'm in a new car, I have a hard time controlling the brakes and stuff because there's different pressures and stuff you need to put on the brakes. So I was still behind the line, but the front of the car, because I'm not used to this car, was over the line. And he's like, see, they would fail you right here. And I'm like, sorry, I'm not used to this car. And he's like, that shouldn't affect your driving. So then I ignore that. I should have turned around, but I didn't. So then I ignore that again, and I start driving, and we're heading to this town that's 40 minutes out of my way, out of the way of my house, and I've never been in this town before. I don't know anything about it, which is kind of stupid that I scheduled it for there, but I just want to get my license, We're driving down this straight road, and he's talking to me, telling me what the test is about. I'm like, okay, cool, he's being chill now. And then he starts getting mad at me that I'm not scanning the road in front of me, which I get that you have to scan, you have to make sure you know what's going on around you. And I'm like, I am scanning, what do you mean? He's like, you're not moving your head. And I'm like, we're on a straight path with no side streets, and there's no risk of us hitting. I'm looking, I'm scanning. And then he's like, he stopped for a second, and he's like, fine, if you're not gonna listen to me, I'm not gonna talk to you for the rest of the ride, and you're gonna fail. I'm like, back up one notch. What do you want me to do for scanning? And this is exactly what he did. For a straight path, in the middle of nowhere, he was telling me to go like this. He did that exact, jerky head moving, looking like he had a seizure or something. And I'm like, we're on a straight street, and even if you did that, you can't see clearly. I'm doing this right now, and I can't even see the camera. I'm not gonna jerk my head like that. So I continue doing, driving what I'm driving, and he starts to calm down again. So I'm like, okay, we cool. Then we get on the freeway, and that's a whole different So a lot of people, you may know, go faster on the freeway than the actual speed limit, which I get, and it's whatever. But when you're you shouldn't be telling a person who doesn't have their driver's license yet, and you're a driving teacher, to go over the speed limit. And I was going 65 miles per hour, which was the speed limit, and everyone was going around that pace, 65, 70. And then he got mad at me because I wasn't being aggressive enough. What do you mean? Everyone's going around the same speed as me. We good, and he was like, no, you have to go faster. you have to be more aggressive, step on the gas, and I'm like, okay. So I like start easing on the gas a little faster so I don't get yelled at. Then I guess started getting close to this car. He's like grabs onto like the dashboard basically and he's like, slow down, you're tailgating them. And I'm like, what? I slowed down 5 miles, like slow down 5 miles going 80 and I go to 75. Then he yells at me again for not going fast enough. And I'm like a good distance away from this car now. And I'm like, that's not right to tell me that I'm not going fast enough when you were yelling at me for tailgating and now we're a good distance away from it, the other car, and now you're getting mad at me. Like, things are quite adding up here. And again, I should have just turned around, but I didn't. So I get to this town, small little town in the middle of nowhere, and then he starts teaching me about unprotected left turns, and I didn't know about these yet. So then basically, if you don't know what an unprotected left turn is, it's basically where you go left but the car coming at you, also their light turns green at the same time, so you have to yield to this person and then you could go. So basically he was telling me about this once we get here, and we're just driving around for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm getting the point of this and stuff. And we're just doing some residential driving, and he's still yelling at me that I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't know this car, and second of all, you're stressing me out and I have high anxiety as it is, so you're not really helping that. Anyway, so we get to the DMV and we're just like chilling, waiting for the appointment time to come. And then it's finally time for the appointment to come, and I get in the car, and Billy, he gets out of the car too. The driving tester comes in the car with me and he's like doing all these things and stuff. Then Billy decides to yell at me, right as I'm about to leave, yes girl, you got this. What do you mean? This whole trip you've been telling me I'm gonna fail, you don't know how to drive basically, and now you're like, yes, you got this? Like, no, don't talk to me like that, like leave me alone, you know? So anyways, I leave with the driving tester and we come to this first unprotected left turn, and this is the first turn of the whole test, and turns green for me. And keep in mind, like I said, you turn left, other car comes straight, but where this car was coming straight, there was a hill, like a little divot in the road, but I couldn't see over it, like, and there was no car there. So I start turning, and then when I start turning, there was a car going about, I would say, 85 miles per hour in a residential area, comes over this hill where I could not see over because it is a hill, and goes over it and cuts me off. And I slam on my brakes right away because I see him right like after I start the turn, because I couldn't see him before. And the driving tester literally goes, whoa, go back to the DMV. He's like, whoa, that was like a risky move or something, go back to the DMV. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, that wasn't my fault there. Like, I was going and it was safe, and then he started to cut me off. So that wasn't my fault whatsoever, considering I couldn't see the guy. So I'm just like, whatever, and I drive back. And he gets out of the car, and I'm crying at this point. And then Billy comes around, and he's like, oh, what happened? And I literally look at him, open the door, and walk out. And luckily, thank God my dad showed up, because I would have had a ride with him all the way back home for 40 minutes, and I wouldn't want to drive because I wasn't in the mood to drive, you know? So my dad showed up, and they're just talking to each other like, oh, what happened? And I'm crying, so they can understand what I'm saying. And then, like, Billy keeps like does this little chuckle thing, like laughing at me basically. He's like, oh, well, better luck next time, and like he's like doing like weird things like that, and I'm just like staring at him like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, can't you be a human being and have some common decency, not to be kind of a jerk all the time? So anyways, I drive back home with my dad. He buys me a milkshake, so that was pretty good. But life lesson, if you have an unprotected left turn, make sure there's not a hill or someone racing over it at 90 miles per hour, because you never know, there might be. Anyways, that's it for my video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel and you want to be, definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button down below as well. Also, if you want to hit the little notification bell, you can also click that down below. This will basically just notify you whenever I post a video. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video again, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!